and here's me looking a little bit crazy. So yesterday was my surgery. I must have been on some really good pain. The local anesthetic from the procedure was still pretty strong on the way home, but of course we're in Portland and I wake up enough to realize we're near Pok Pok, and so I get Glenn to take me to Pok Pok. We have lunch, which I was walking pretty slow, but I wasn't really in pain. Once I got home, it was a totally different story. I didn't stop and get my pain meds, the prescription filled. I've only been on pain meds once in my life, and I just do not like that feeling of A, not knowing where the pain is coming from, and B, being totally out of it. So I wanted, if I could, bear it just to feel what it feels like to stand, to sit, to walk, whether I could do those or not, and what the most comfortable position is laying down. So I'm fine once I get on the couch. I'm like a 100-year-old person trying to get on and off the couch. And I'm comfortable once I'm laying there. Last night, just walking downstairs to bed kind of did me in. That was more than I anticipated. So my muscles were going into spasm, and then I couldn't stop the muscles from spasming, and then they were hurting the injection sites, and on and on. But today I feel a million times better. So I'm gonna hop back down here on my nest and read some poetry. There is something kind of nice about kicking at midday on the couch and just reading. A little treasure that I don't usually afford myself, so that's super nice. Thank you for your kind words and your sweet notes, and Todd sent me a card and I just opened it, and I've been on the phone with friends and girlfriends all morning, so I feel very taken care of. And Glenn made me this golden milk recipe there. So how can you not get better having golden milk and reading from the big red book? Love poetry, makes my hips heal. I'm certain of that. So yeah, I'm doing good. I wanted Glenn to film the actual surgery, but he was not comfortable with that. So I think he got me when they were putting my IV in. I think that's what he got. So I'll put that at the end of this video. Yeah, doing good. Just healing. I have to lay here for an entire week. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the procedure, I basically had a bilateral, meaning both hips, stem cell injections into my hip socket. And what they do is they go in through my butt. I've got a Band-Aid. I haven't seen it, but the Band-Aid's giant on my butt. And they go into the top of your iliac crest. And they extract the bone marrow from your pelvis. And then they go in and they also extract some subcutaneous fat cells as well as blood. And they take all three of these, spin out the platelets, the stem cells, and then they make this concoction. And I do remember the doctor showing me this vial that was like this big and like this big around. But I was not super with it, so it could have been smaller, but it seemed like it was huge. And they basically inject nearly as much fluid as you have in your hip sockets then and again. And the fluid that they inject is just this platelet, stem cell rich cocktail that will hopefully regenerate and regrow cartilage, which is my issue. I have a disease. My left hip is pretty diseased. There's arthritis in there. I have a torn gluteus medius. There's some ligament damage, and my labrum in there is all shredded. And I've got a little bit of impingement, and I have hip dysplasia in both hips. So they did both hips, and I'm hoping to prevent my right one from becoming as diseased and gnarly as the left one has become in the last couple of years. So hopefully I have to lay here for a week, which is crazy. I can't quite wrap my head around that because it's what, 1 o'clock on the first day, and I'm already like, do. But I'm laying here and I'm just giving my hips love so that they heal and grow and regenerate. And then the next 3 weeks, I can do ramp up to my activity, but not exceed 50%. And then in 1 month from now, then I can start physical therapy and kind of rebuilding all of the muscles around my hips to help stabilize me, because my issue is definitely one of stability. So yeah, that's it. I was hoping to get the grizzly part. I don't know that I could edit it. I have this weird thing about fainting, like pierced or scratched, or I read a book about somebody in some sort of trauma and I physically faint. I have, it's a reflex. It's a common reflex. Not common, but it's a known reflex. So I was out of it. I don't remember really any of it, but yeah, no grizzly footage. I will show you my sights. There's really not much to see, but I think it's interesting anyway. So I have right here, and then on the other side the same, and then my back is a Band-Aid that's giant. I haven't peeled that off yet, and I can't see it anyway, so I'm spared from my own entry points. Yeah, so that's it. Bilateral stem cell injections into my hip with the hopes of regrowing cartilage. I was told, I've been a runner my whole life, so I've just exaggerated a genetic condition, which I genetically should never have been a runner. And I was training for a marathon before my 40th birthday, and that's when I was running, like, I think I was up to 10 or 12 miles, and I was unable to run. And some days I had to like hobble home. It was pretty bad. And I was told that I would need 2 new hips before my 50th birthday, within 10 years, and likely beforehand. And it just freaked me out so bad, and I just basically froze and went into denial mode. So I could have, had I addressed this, had I addressed the problem then and gotten a second opinion, and had a doctor tell me that arthritis is degenerative and you have options, you have alternative treatments, I would not have gotten so bad before I actually sought medical help. So let that be a lesson for you. If you have pinching, if you have nerve pain, if you have anything going on in your body, don't ignore it, because the therapies now, especially some of the alternative therapies, are pretty remarkable. Unfortunately, they're out of pocket, so that I know that's not accessible to most people, to a lot of people. But yeah, I feel very lucky that I can go this route and maybe preserve the hips that I have, hopefully forever, at least for a while. So yeah, that's it. Just laying here, reading Rumi. I hope you've enjoyed the video or found it inspiring. I know me laying here in my nest is probably not super inspiring, but if you have stuff going on with your body, definitely have it looked at. Do your research. I know WebMD is a terrifying place, but there's a lot of really good information out there. And I wish you well. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to edit for another week. I have to lay like this. But then after that, I can lay on my stomach and create like a little editing zone. So I've got tons of footage from the road trip. And just footage on my phone that I have just not had time to edit. So that will be trickling up shortly. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.
We're going to stop for him.
How soy makes everything better.